Hi. First of all, I'm not dead. It's, I don't even know what it is, September 26th of 2021. It's been a minute since I've made some videos. I don't know, pandemic life has been challenging, and so I've really kind of, I don't know, sat at my house and done nothing, essentially, and worked, honestly. So, anyway, I happen to have two beers of my favorite kinds of style, both in terms of the fact that they're nitro beers and they're dark beers. And so I'm just going to do these two videos back to back real quick to share them with you. So we're going to start with Breckenridge Brewery. This is a nitro Irish Stout. It says smooth, cascading, dry stout brewed with roasted Irish malts. Says tastes great from a can or experience nitro in a glass. It says cascading dry stout, but there's no widget in this can. I think that's the device probably trademarked that Guinness uses. They have a round one in their cans and then like a cylinder, I don't even know, bullet shaped, I guess, even one that goes in their glass bottles that they use. But what that does is it pumps a lot of nitrogen in when you open the can. And so when you do a hard pour of a Guinness, it has that cascade. And I guess I could pour this to a bigger can or into a bigger glass, but I guess you'll just have to take my word for it. This is the second one that I've had, and so I hard poured this into a full-size glass when I poured it, and it didn't cascade necessarily. So, grain of salt and shit. But we can't be all as amazing as the widget that Guinness uses, right? So it sounds very Guinnessy when you open it. You hopefully heard that. I don't know. But I'm going to pour kind of hard but not aggressively in my little tiny glass here. And you can see that there's not really any cascade necessarily that's happening. I mean, a little bit. I guess it's like a baby cascade. Right? As all of these bubbles kind of find their way up to this beautiful creamy head. But that's okay. What is the alcohol content? First of all, best enjoyed by 6/19/21. So first of all, this came from what used to be Bevmo. It's been bought by, I don't know what company, or they're sharing the space. I don't know, whatever. And they usually don't have expired beers on their shelves. I'm a little disappointed to find out that this one is expired because now it's September. So this is now effectively 3 months past its expiration, which is sad. Let's all be sad for a moment. And might also explain further comments that I'm going to have about this beer. But second, this is 4.8% alcohol by volume, and this can is 13.6 ounces, which is interesting. I think the Guinness cans are 14.2. So this is less than a Guinness, right? More than a standard can of beer, but not a pint either. So it's kind of a weird measurement, but whatever. With roasted Irish malts. Okay, so look, it has this beautifully dark, right? No color, no light is coming through this. Yeah, no light is coming through this. Beautifully creamy head that is created from that nice nitro nitrogen. I'm thinking, I can't even think of words. Nitrogen brewing, nitrogen bottling, carbonization. There we go. Carbonization? Now I'm, whatever. Anyway, moving on. And then aroma-wise, it's beautifully malty. I really like roasted malts a lot. That's basically why I like dark beers. This has kind of an earthy quality to it. A lot of the Irish, Scottish, English beers use English style hops, different than American hops, I guess. And they are very earthy, and so sometimes that's like, I don't want to say dirt because it has a negative connotation, you know, just like, I don't know, earthy, as opposed to citrusy or floral or danky, right? And so it kind of has like this, it really pairs well, in my opinion, to roasted malt flavor, right? Because it kind of gives this like brownness, depth of flavor to the beer that I appreciate. So anyway, smells a lot like a stout to me. Classic, right? Like a little espresso-y, maybe just a little. All right, so cheers. Let's have a drink. I did just brush my teeth. That was kind of a bad idea. But this beer has all of the stoutiness flavors that I have come to know and love. You know, it's bitter. It has a nice roasted malt, dark chocolate, kind of coffee flavor to it. Can you guys hear Roomba in the background? Man, I tell you, that vacuum is loud. Also, thank you for your service, Roomba. You're great. Anyway, deeply roasty and malty. It's has a nice, bitter, lingering finish to it. It's really clean and crisp. It reminds me a lot of cold brew coffee, I guess, or iced coffee. So I said this to my roommate when we drank this the other day, that it has a waxy flavor to me. And she interpreted that we decided between the two of us that that's probably the hops that are being used that have this kind of earthy quality to it. And so, I don't know. To separate out my description of flavor from mouthfeel, this is not mouthfeel. This waxy kind of thick quality of the flavor is, I think, is coming from the hops specifically, right? And so that's characteristic of stouts in general. Irish stouts, imperial stouts, kind of all have that quality to it. So anyway, that's here. Mouthfeel. This beer is kind of thin and light. I don't necessarily count that as a point against it, but one, it's nitro, and so I would like a little bit more kind of thick creaminess to the mouthfeel, akin to Guinness. I feel like, unfortunately, maybe for every beer who's coming after Guinness that specifically says on their can Nitro Stout, that we're kind of comparing it to Guinness. I think, so anyway, is that in their favor or not? It's hard to know. So I think flavor-wise that they have more depth of flavor than Guinness might, but seem to be thin. No, just different flavor, really. I don't know, because Guinness has a sour quality to me. Anyway, different. It's different, right? Anyway, but mouthfeel-wise, I would have preferred in my Nitro pour a thicker, creamier kind of mouthfeel. But this is thin and light, which makes it, I don't know, crushable if that's an experience that you're looking for, especially at this, is it 4.8? I can't read because it's so tiny, 4.8% beer, right? So I guess let's call under 5 sessionable, right? And so, that's a thing. So overall, I think this is a very enjoyable beer. I'm sad that Bevmo is now selling beers that are past their expiration date. That's That's disappointing, because that historically was a place I would go and feel pretty like I could rely on. I felt like it was a pretty reliable source for good beer handling, but it is not. I guess. Bummer. Boo. Okay. Anyway, moving on from that. So cheers to this beer. Breckenridge Brewery, Nitro Irish Stout, 4.8%. Pretty delicious. I recommend checking them out. I haven't encountered them before, I don't believe. And this was a pretty good beer. And so I would love to see, actually I shouldn't put that on my notes. I would love to see other beers from this brewery. So if this is a beer that you've had before, please share your thoughts down below. I would love to hear them. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.